us. Make no mistake, we have enough love between us to start to reawake. We have enough love between us.
And brothers, put your hand together for our healer, our doctor, our leader, Dr. Liaila Afrika.
Good evening. It's nice to be here and to share whatever information I have with you. The problem seems to be that people are worried about their health, what little bit they have left, and trying to avoid some kind of disease without working. They want a magic herb or a magic pill to save them, and that's not how it works. Essentially, your life is a health story. It's how you live, how you relate to other people, and how you handle stress. It's nothing wrong with stress. It's just stress in the wrong places. There's nothing wrong with stress. There's nothing wrong with hate. There's nothing wrong with anger. It's just how you use it. We have health, and people are taking our health from us. White people are not evil people. They're just acting white. Dogs are not evil. They just act like a damn dog. So get over it. They're just acting like they're white. That's all. You need to act like you're black. That's the issue. Don't try to change anybody. Change yourself. Don't even worry about it. One lesson to know is that if you see somebody do something and you don't understand it, or if somebody tells you something and you don't understand it, or somebody acts a certain way and you just don't understand it, it's because they did it emotionally. Emotions is another logic system from logic. When somebody says, why did they say that to me? I don't understand why they said it for emotional reasons. And that's our issue. We do not have an emotional vocabulary. We do not have an emotional expense account. We do not have an emotional budget. We are ruled by our emotions. You do not eat from McDonald's or whatever, the Burping King, all these other freaks, because of logic. You eat from them for emotional reasons. Happy faces, going places, cemetery probably. So what I'm saying is you have to understand this thing called emotions. The hell with everything else. Facts have never ruled the world. There's never been a war fought in history over a fact. Wars are fought over emotions. So we have to come in contact with what is this all about? Where did it all come from? And that's probably what I'm going to talk about for about 15 minutes. And then I'll talk about some remedies, arthritis, diabetes, stuff that people want to hear me talk about. But I'm telling you, it's emotions that got you on this trouble. And the only way to get out of this is emotionally. Now, where do emotions come from? Who taught us about emotions? A man called Socrates, a Greek. He taught another man called Plato, and Plato wrote about emotions. He's the one who came up with subconscious and conscious and preconscious. That is a white concept. He's the one who came up with, my first mind told me I should do this. Well, where's your second mind, damn it? They came up with these concepts, and we're using it. You cannot access black intelligence with a white program. You cannot access black intelligence with a white program. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything starts from the root. If you want to grow a tree, it grows from the root. In biology, we call it a stem. If you want to grow a kidney, you got to get a stem cell to grow a kidney. You got to get the root. Everything starts from the root. Emotions start from the root, the brain stem. That's what I'm trying to say. And you do not just use your brain to think. We've proven that over and over and over again in something called neuroimaging. You think with your bones, you think with your muscles, you think with your glands. You use your whole body to think. Sometimes you just use your bones. You say that's intuition. Sometimes you use your glands. You say, a thought came to me. No, it didn't. You were just using another part of your body. You use your whole body to be dumb. You use your whole body to be stupid. You use your whole body to be intelligent. And any skill you have to practice. If you want to be good at golf, you got to practice. You want to be good at soccer, you got to practice. And if you want to be good at being dumb, you got to practice. I went off to a white man's school, and I came home, and my grandmother came out of slavery. I don't know if some of y'all know about that one. So slaves didn't talk that much. Because some of the slaves were coconuts. They just tell a massa. So slaves are very quiet. So my grandmother was very quiet. And I used to try to get information from her. I said, Grandma, tell me, what you do on slavery? I want to know. She said, child, it was just them times. And that's all she ever said. It was just them times. I couldn't understand why she wouldn't tell me anything, All she would say is it was just them times. So I was taking a class because I used to be a psychotherapist, help people with rape and suicide and paranoid schizophrenia, people with their own bowel movements, normal crazy people. So I was telling her I was studying rape. And I was telling her, these techniques we use to help people who have been raped. 1 out of 7 black men have been raped. 1 out of 4 black women have been raped. Let's get over that one. Men don't get raped in prison. They bring rape into prison. Are you clear with me? Men rape men higher than they rape women. Are you still clear with me? 1 out of 7 black men have been raped. 1 out of 4 black women have been raped. When's the last time a black man talked to you about being raped? I'm just trying to bring it to reality too here. So I was just telling my grandma, I was saying, Grandma, I'm in school. She said, yeah, I know, you're educated. So I said, I'm studying rape. She said, you studying what? And she laughed at me. She said, child, all we do is just wipe ourselves off and keep walking. Do you understand what kind of reality she had to live in to say that? All we did is wipe ourselves off and keep walking. I said, damn. Yeah, that's why she couldn't talk about so much stuff, because it was just so much stuff. Nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is the male system is very fragile. It's not made of concrete. The female system is very strong. A woman can have triplets. It's built. But the male system, please, Sesame Street 101. It's just not built for anything, Nonetheless, the way to stop this problem, what they call erectile dysfunction, which is the male word for impotency, is to stop damaging your reproductive system. What happens is the body is on a program that started about 2 billion years ago. You with me here? We're really prehistoric kind of people. So this system that the nature put in place is 2 billion years old. So when you eat a raisin, the body says, I don't know this. I only know grapes. I only know grapes. I don't know raisin. When you eat white rice, the body says, I don't know this. I know that wild nigger rice, black rice, brown rice, but I don't know this white rice. It wasn't there when I was created. And what's the stuff you're putting in me now? The body gets confused. I don't know it. So when you eat a raisin, the body puts the water back into the raisin before it digests it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're not drinking extra water, where's the water coming from that the body's putting back into the raisin to make it into a grape? It's coming from your nerves, your muscles, your bones, your reproductive system. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you're eating this white rice, the body says, where's the vitamins and minerals and fiber that went with this rice? Because it's going to make it the way God made it. Then it knows it, then it can digest it. So it pulls that moisture and vitamins and minerals, amino acids from your bones, your muscles, your glands, and your penis. So if you're just trying to be a dick saver, you got to follow this kind of diet. But I'm saying the harm is done because the food was harmed. You harm the food, and you eat it, the food harms you. Simple. You harm the food by processing it, making white sugar, because we never made white sugar for black people. We were put on plantations and made white sugar for white people. But since we're free, we want to eat white man's food. It's crazy. That white sugar was an addicting drug. So I have everything I'm saying is written down. I don't just flip around. It's written down with the research and all that kind of stuff that people like to see. This is not a difficult thing to do. The difficult thing is to overcome our conditioning. The difficult thing is to overcome how we were taught before we were taught, how we were miseducated and all that sort of rut. I don't think this problem is going to be corrected overnight. I do not expect it to be corrected overnight. If I come back next year, some of y'all will be dead. I'm facing reality. You're facing your fantasy. Some of you will have arthritis. Some of you will, I'm telling you, some of you will have diabetes. I'm telling you facts. You live in a fantasy. The greatest nation in the world is imagination. And that's where they live. I'm telling you the facts. Some of you won't even remember your own name. I don't know what my name is. Yeah, talk like a Walmart greeter. So we got to face the reality of our own situation before we can look at the reality of someone else's situation. Basically, I would say maybe 70%, 80%. I'll just say 90% of black people are crazy. That's it. We have mental illnesses that we don't admit to. We do. You meet somebody and say, that whole family act like that. No, the whole family is crazy. That's what you're trying to say. I used to work for these white people in community psychology for National Institute of Mental Health, some big words. And I was in community psychology. What I did was organize people and all that kind of wonderful stuff. The thing was that black folks have a short memory. That's what they teach the FBI today, the CIA today, that black people have a short memory. And a short memory is associated with white sugar. Our addiction to white sugar. Remember I said, what is a drug? And everybody looked at me like I was a drug. Nobody answered the question. And I said a drug is an isolated substance. Does everyone remember that? Yeah, I saw 4 people shake their head. Damn. So if I take the cocaine out of the cocoa leaf, it is a drug. See, I isolated a substance. You still with me here? That's why we call cocaine a drug, because I isolated a substance out of the cocoa leaf. You heard of poppy seeds? If I take the heroin out of the poppy seed, I have a drug. I've isolated a substance. That's what a drug is. That's why heroin is a drug. If I take the starch out of a wheat berry, I have a drug. You can call it bleach white flour if you want. But chemistry is what it is. I isolated a substance out of a wheat berry called bleach white flour. Therefore, I have a drug. A drug is an isolated substance. So when you eat this isolated substance, like I did with the grape and the raisin scenario, y'all remember 15 minutes ago when I was talking? Short-term memory, people. I said that the raisin has to, in chemistry we say, reconstitute itself, rehydrate. The raisin has to put back all that water, all the minerals, and then it's recognized as a grape by the body. Now the body will process it. And I said, where is it getting all this water, the vitamins and minerals and all that stuff? It's getting it from your bones, your glands, your prostate, your muscle, your brain, your vein. Are you still with me there? Yeah, epididymis. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with information, it's how you apply it, you see? You have become essentially a drug to white people. They've isolated you from your culture. Are you still with me? And when I isolate a substance, it's a drug. You are a drug to white people. They are addicted to you. And you are addicted to them. Is this difficult? They like your music. They steal your music. They steal your dancing. They steal your slangs. Why do you think they're doing that? Because they're addicted to you. I mentioned a herb called chickweed, which reduces your craving. Your craving for masturbation, because the black people like to masturbate. They have a mastillator, which is an automatic masturbating machine, because brothers too lazy to even jerk off. It's sickening. But they got a machine for that now. People are lazy. They got dildos that light up. I'm just telling you. The most popular one is the pink one sold in the black community. I'm just telling you. Please. We have a lot of problems. That's true, but we have a lot of remedies. I'm saying chickweed will curb your craving for white people, food, white sugar. You still with me? Violence. Because all cravings use the same highway called the nervous system. So I'm just strengthening the nervous system. That's a herb. Now, on amino acid, I go glutamine. 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 You have that? Just give me some things to help yourself. You know. I don't want to mention the other one, but I guess I'll have to, huh? I think I have to. Manganese. Not magnesium. Manganese. That's the one that we block the absorption in a plant. And we block the absorption of manganese. You get a seedless grape, seedless watermelon. I block the absorption of manganese. Put it in the seed. The most dangerous person in the world is a chemist without morals. It's not the soldier, it's the chemist. That's what Hitler flew the hell out of Germany when he was invaded. He put all of them on the plane and flew them out. Said, the hell, you can have everything, but don't take them guys. We need them. And the U.S. took them and did the atomic bomb and some other nasty things. Yeah. So I gave you two things, right? Chickweed, and I gave you three things. That was a test. I'm a school teacher. I had to do these things. So the next thing to understand about these isolated, concentrated substances called a drug is that, well, it's going to cause a yeast infection. You give yeast different names. You call it dandruff. That's a yeast infection. You give yeast another name. You call it athlete's foot. That's a yeast infection. Yeast is mushrooms in layman's terms. It's just mushrooms growing between your toes. We call it athlete's foot. You got mushrooms growing in your head. We call it dandruff. Still with me? You got a white-coated tongue in the morning. That's yeast. That started 30 feet down here and grew up to your mouth. And the one thing yeast crave is sugar. So you can't get rid of your addiction to the sugar unless you get rid of the craving that can cause you to crave the sugar, which is yeast. So you can't drink beer because that is caused by yeast. You can't eat anything that's fermented. That's beer, wine, vinegar, cheese. And you can't eat mushroom because you're feeding mushrooms to a mushroom. That's itself a stupid. So you can't eat mushrooms. And I said in the beginning, it's a whole lifestyle involved here. It's not just one magic pill. It's your whole life is the magic pill. So you can't eat anything fermented. That's cheese. That's mushrooms. That's soy sauce. That's vinegar. That's beer. That's wine. And yeast, which is in bread and many things. And it has about 30 different names. Because these are white people. They change the name to keep you stupid. So we write hydrolyzed yeast on the label, which is MSG. Because MSG has 40 different names. That's why you need some egghead like myself to tell you about this stuff. Because you can't keep track of all this stuff. Because these people, they play, that's what they do. They just acting like white people. So you need an egghead like in chemistry, an egghead in biology, an egghead in history. Don't try to be the whole village. It ain't going to work. Don't even try that. Now, keep in mind that the sugar takes the moisture out of your veins and arteries, which closes them. They get so narrow that they can't nourish your feet. That's why you get amputation of the foot, amputation of the legs, because they can no longer get enough blood supply. Because the sugar took the moisture out of the veins, which narrowed the grape down to a raisin and made it too small to carry enough blood to the foot. So a lot of people will have dialysis because the sugar narrowed the blood vessels to the kidneys, and the kidneys can't get enough nourishment to stay alive, so they're on dialysis. Dialysis is caused directly by sugar. That's what I'm trying. High blood pressure is caused directly by sugar because it narrowed the blood vessels, and the only way to get more blood is to increase the pressure. They are losing their hair at 25 because they took the moisture out of the scalp and killed the hair follicle, therefore they bald at 25. But, it's a fashion now. I'm just saying all of this is a result of sugar. And then they can't pay attention like some people. Because the sugar causes short-term memory. And their breath smells like a skunk fart because the sugar pulled the moisture out of the food and can't move out of the colon rapidly, so they just breathe a turd. Then they want to blame it on that breath. Oh, my breath is bad. Like I can give a breath of spanking or something like that. Crazy. So I hope that helped you. But I do have a book, Health Dictionaries. Dr. Stevenson, I got health dictionaries back then. Yeah, and I have all these remedies written down. I write down everything, so don't worry about it. Monk, like religious little guys. Monk fruit. Yes. It's a natural sweetener. It goes to the liver so it won't damage the pancreas. So they won't get diabetes or anything like that. It's called monk fruit. Monk, like those little preacher guys. And you know what a fruit is. I know you know. Yeah. She's trying to say use another concentrated sweetener called honey. To eat honey in its natural state, you have to eat the whole flower. Because in natural state, honey is diluted. See, if you're eating sugar cane grass, it's the sugar in the sugar cane grass is diluted. It's water with it, and fiber with it. When you take the sugar cane grass, take the sugar out, you got rid of the fiber. Because you got to do 15 feet of sugar cane grass to get the amount of sugar in a Coca-Cola. I'm just saying, there's no way you can be a diabetic if you're eating it in its natural state. But honey, no. You may be able to get away with a herb called stevia. But it leaves an aftertaste of chlorophyll. So a lot of black people don't like that aftertaste. That's why I said monk fruit. And second would be stevia. Agave fruit is fine. No, I said agave fruit because the sugar in agave fruit is diluted with water and all that other fiber. But once you make a syrup, that's a concentrate. That's a drug. The thing is, with post-traumatic slavery trauma, better known as being a nigger, you have an addiction for failure. You don't like to fail, and you don't like success. It sounds kind of weird, but we run away from success and we run away from failure. You can't criticize a black person too much because I'm just telling you, don't even do that. She's saying to concentrate the juice of a fruit without adding water to it before she drinks it. That's a problem. Because naturally you would chew it and dilute it with spit. And you're going past that process. Therefore, you have to add water to your organic natural juice before you drink it. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just telling you how nature is. Nature said you stop breathing, you're dead. There's no sidestepping. Nature's very strict. It may sound like I'm rough and all that. I'm telling you, nature's strict. You stop breathing, you're dead. You're breathing, you're alive. Very strict. And you asked me about a sweetener. What about it? How do you make it? I'm asking you, how do you make palm sugar? Oh, God didn't make it. Oh, problem. You got anything in its natural state, and it keep you in your natural state. That's all I'm saying. This is not a very difficult thing to understand. You have a concentrate. Palm sugar is a concentrate. It's going to hurt you eventually. Not fast like white sugar, but it's going to get there. But it shouldn't be too much problem because they have a flavored panties and everything. The brothers won't mind. You got to buy it from white people. He want to know where you get monk fruit from. Do a search, and it'll pop up. They got monk fruit cake, candy, chocolate, all that stuff. Indigenous and seasonal is over. That was around the 11th century. Yeah, people say eat fruit in their season, all that. Forget that. That's over. Over. Oranges come from China. Bananas come from India. Cayenne and coconut do not come from Africa. That's going into food history, and I'm not doing food history right now. That's over. Eat whatever you can. Make it organic as possible. That's all I can say. I teach people how to get on the right diet in jail, and you ask me these questions. I say, damn it, get it. You have to steal it. I mean, I don't steal anything. Lemons are acid for about 2 or 3 minutes, then the acid burns off. So they're actually alkaline. Then the other part was pH balance. I'm dealing with an audience here, and you're coming up with these terms, and I got to explain it to the audience. pH balance was her next question. And who established pH balance is the issue. Who set norm values for black people? That's the issue. So I had to go through all of that to answer the question. Not that you did anything wrong. I'm going to answer your question. I'm just trying to say norm values were set by a race that's not yours. Let's be clear. pH balance was established on the blood taken from all the sick people in the damn hospital. That's how we started doing this chemistry stuff. Took all their blood and say, okay, the average is that's pH balance. In regular medicine, we never study healthy people. You go to the hospital, the doctor studies sick people. Then you go to them and say, make me healthy. That is crazy. We go to school and we study sick, and you know that. And then why are you asking him about being healthy? pH means potential of hydrogen. P is for potential. H is for hydrogen. It is called an element. It's on something called a periodic table. Everything is classified in science electrically, which we call a periodic table. Everything is electrical because electricity is male, magnetism is female. Now you're going into a whole branch of science known as chauvinistic science because science is controlled just by men. So you're going to get a problem right there. Men control science. Men control religion. Men control history. You read history, you're going to read about men. Men control women's fashions. Men design women's coatex. Men design women's hair. The whole thing is chauvinistic. So you're getting one eye looking for a whole picture. It's not going to happen. So we got to take it out of that system to look at it clearly. You need both of your eyes, both of them. Potential, P, hydrogen, H. Potential of hydrogen to be acid or alkaline. That's what we're looking at. What is hydrogen's potential to be acid or alkaline? That was her question. And she's asking about what is the best way to consume a lime or a lemon that she said was acid, but it's not actually acid. It's alkaline. The acid burns off like that. So the way they classify food is totally crazy. So you got to get away from foods that damage the liver. Fried foods, bleached white flour, white sugar. I'm back to the same thing again. Stop messing up the liver, and the liver will take care of alkaline in your body for you. Because anytime you get angry, you get acid. If I cuss you out, you get acid. If you cuss me out, you get acid. You follow me? And it doesn't have to be cussing. You can be a Quaker and go to a Muslim church. You're going to get acid. You follow me? Little stuff you're not thinking about, you know. Because acid is a defense mechanism of the body. You have to have acid or you're going to die. You don't want to get rid of acid. That defends your body. So anytime you're out of your elements, somebody cuss you out, you cuss somebody out, you take a drink of beer, you get acid. You ate some fried food, you get acid. Because the body say, what's this? And want to fight back, so the body's going to get acid. You know how it goes. You putting on Chinese clothes and you're a black person. That's acid right there. Little things that we're not thinking about, the body says, I don't care what your brain's telling you, you acid. And all of that just piles up, and then one day you say, I'm too acid. I need to drink some lemon water. Negro, please. Being oppressed makes you acid. Being in slavery makes you acid. What are you talking about? Not being free makes you acid. You wake up acid. You go to sleep acid. Then you have sex, and that's acid. But nonetheless, you can do the lemon and the lime, but I would do something for the liver. A herb for the liver. It's a popular one, dandelion root, burdock root, or milk thistle. If you make your liver healthy, it will alkaline your system without a problem. It's just that we have to admit that we have problems with food. It's not a big issue. The average person is doing at least 1 tablespoon of roach spray that they eat a day. 1 tablespoon of weed killer that they eat a day, because that's put on the food when they harvest it so they won't get... You call it pesticides or herbicides. I'm telling you what you're eating. 1 tablespoon of Raid a day. You raiding your own ass. 1 tablespoon of Raid, 1 tablespoon of Monsanto, glyphosate, whatever you want to call it. That's what the average person is eating who's not eating non-organic food. And you bypassing all of that and asking me about, I'm saying no. That's why people are into this organic food, because they don't want to eat the roach spray and the weed killer every day. It takes an effect on you. It's going to have atrazine in it. Atrazine destroys your ability to metabolize protein. So even though you're eating organic protein, you're not going to get the value out of it because they put atrazine on it. I mean, these people, white people. It's best just to leave certain things up to those people in that field. I do not get upset when I see a broken airplane. That's not my field. I don't get upset when I see a broken Negro. That's not my field. I stay in my lane. You stay in your lane and do the best African-centered job you can do. If you fix shoes, make it as African as possible. That's all I'm saying. Don't try to do all these other people's job. I do have designs, what those designs are in your clothing in my book, Per Ankh. I explain what they mean. The design in your shirt, how to arrange your house, how to arrange your room, how to arrange your life. It's right in the book called Per Ankh. A lot of people stay away from it and say, I ain't arranging my house, but you want to arrange your room. So a lot of people arrange their room for boys. That's a girl. And some people arrange their room for a girl. That's a boy. Because you're following these Greeks, and everybody knows Greeks are freaky. So you're arranging your room for a homosexual is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's a way you arrange a room for a boy. It's different from the way you arrange a room for a girl. It's called post-traumatic slavery trauma. If you are too successful, the master may sell you or beat you because they don't like those smart niggas. So you kind of like, oh, I'm being successful. I better stay away from this one. I get punished by the master. I'm just saying this is wired in our brain, you see. That's just the fear of being successful. The fear of being failures is, I didn't pick enough cotton, I'm going to get a whooping. So this is, we have never been treated for slavery trauma or colonialism. We have never been treated for it. And white people have never been treated for cave trauma. And I go through the whole thing in my book, Nutritional Destruction of Black People. I tell you what cave trauma has done to white people. You got traumatized, you follow me? Traumatized white people and traumatized black people. That's not going to be a good marriage, any way you put it, you know. That's why these people buying these Jesus that light up at night. Scared me. I was in an Arab country working as a nurse, scared the hell out of me. I had nothing against Jesus or Allah at all. You're not supposed to serve a religion. A religion is supposed to serve you. That's where I'm at with all of them. If it's not serving your purposes, get rid of it, damn it. Okay, that's it. Oh, thank you very much.
have enough love between us to practice every day. We have enough love between us, choosing love in every way. We have enough love